If you're looking to move to Pickering, don't. Well, at least before watching this video will just uncover the reasons why you might not want to move to Pickering. Pickering has a lot to good of things in here, but it also has some bad, and that's what this video will be all about. My name is Brad Gates. I'm a local realtor here in the Durham region. So if you are looking to move to or from Durham, then you can call, text, email, send the carrier pigeon, whatever you'd like, and I'm more than happy to help. I have people reaching out from all over the world and I absolutely love it. So as much as I love doing these videos, I also love helping people that are looking to move here. And so we'll just jump right into the video. Our first location is pretty much the first reason in terms of why you might not want to move to Pickering, and it has to do with the fact that the power plant. So Pickering has a power plant, and it's something that's been here for a long time. They've talked about decommissioning it, but they've also been renovating it. On top of that, even if they did decommission it, the nuclear waste that's here has to stay here for so long. If you research other areas that had power plants that were decommissioned, you can look at Port Hope, which is more east of Bowmanville, and you can see kind of how that's affected real estate values. Pretty much when they decommissioned it, they do have to transport the nuclear waste away from it. And so homes that were on the transportation path of pretty much where they were taking it, when you buy a home there, you actually have to, as a buyer's agent, let your client know if they're buying the place that it is within one of those areas where they try and protect the land values. So the government will help top up if your house loses value because of the nuclear waste transport path or anything like that. So that covers off our first location. Let's jump over to our second one and cover off our second reason why you would not want to move to Pickering. Our next negative has to do with the beach. And you might be wondering, why would the beach be a negative? The beach is great, and especially on hot days, the breeze that comes through is amazing, definitely cools you down. The problem is what's behind, towards at the end of the beach, right back there is the power plant that you see. So you have this beach, and then kind of at the end of it, you have a big power plant. And so that's just kind of like the deterrent, in my opinion, where if you're gonna go to the beach, you might not wanna see the Ontario power plant kind of right there in the background. So that covers off this point. Let's jump on to our next one. Second point has to do with the downtown of Pickering, or the lack of. Currently, this is kind of Pickering's downtown. I'm at Frenchman's Bay, which is towards the waterfront. So it is a nice area that has the beach and everything like that. But in terms of like a main downtown you can go, this is kind of it. Doesn't have a ton to do, but there's a little bit anyways. So that kind of, if you're going to compare it to Toronto, it's hard to do that. You can't really. The closest downtowns would be Whitby. Or Oshawa. Pickering may not have a downtown, but they do have a mall. So this is Pickering Town Center kind of behind me here. So it is a large mall within Durham. It's one of two major malls that you'll see here. One's in Oshawa, one's in Pickering. I tend to go to the Oshawa one a little bit more because I'm in Whitby and it's just a little bit closer, but Pickering Town Center is a great mall as well. And it's just definitely something to note on top of the no downtown negative that I kind of threw in there. Our next negative has to do with the traffic. So way behind me, you'll see the 401. Just before that is actually the tracks for the GO train that actually runs. So being in Pickering, you do have the express service that kind of will take you to Union Station in about 30 minutes. So it's good on that sense, but if you are driving, it is going to be a rough drive. Up till Pickering is not horrible. Once you pass Pickering, you go to Ajax around Salem. That's where I find the traffic can be the worst. So the traffic in Pickering when you are getting here on the 401, not the best. So that's something to be aware of. Alternatively, you can take the GO train or drive it. Let me know what you think. If you do that drive, I did the drive from Oshawa all the way to pretty much by Sherway Gardens back before I got into real estate full-time. So I know how bad the traffic can be. I can't imagine if it's gotten worse or not. It probably has because of the population growth within Durham. And a lot of people who are moving to Durham are still working in Toronto. And a lot of places are doing a lot of work from home type setups, meaning that the full force of the 401 might not even be in effect yet. So that is something that you definitely want to be aware of. Either plan for an extended commute time if you're on the 401, or you can take the GO, which is right behind me there. So that's all the GO parking behind, and then that's the GO station there as well. So if you're looking to move here and you're going to be commuting, you do have the option if you don't want to battle the 401 traffic every day like so many people do. Our next negative, surprise, surprise, has to do with property tax. So property taxes anywhere in the Durham region is going to be higher. Considering Pickering is so close to Toronto or like Scarborough, for example, property taxes, quite a big difference. $1 million home in Pickering, if you find any freeholds, let me know. But $1 million home in Pickering will, could cost you $6,000, $7,000 a year in property tax, where that $1 million home in Toronto is going to be around $3,000 to $4,000, maybe even a little bit less. So yeah, property taxes, big negative. But when you have all the green space that Durham, specifically like Pickering, where we are right now, it's there's a lot of it. So it's not as overly populated. So it's a big difference for traffic and just the general living. I guess that's the downfall of being tall. You hit trees. But yeah. Let's jump on to our next point. Our final negative of Pickering has to do with that sign behind me, which was just pretty much save this prime farmland. And you'll notice North Pickering towards Claremont, you'll notice that there's a lot of signs saying no airport or save this farmland, that kind of thing, where it's farmers that are fighting against the government for, they call expropriating, and I hope I'm saying that right, that's a hard one for me, the land. And pretty much they can do that. Benefits a larger population, so sometimes builders do that. Mainly it would be the government if they are expanding highways, that kind of thing, where they'll actually just force the sale of people's land to widen a highway, create a highway. 407 is a good example of that. A lot of people lost their land, or their land got divided in two to accommodate the 407. So the Pickering Airport is a con for most people that are living in Pickering, because you have the excessive flight noise, and then you'll have it where the traffic, so it'll be increased traffic in Pickering because it's slated to be a international airport. So you can pretty much from Pickering fly anywhere in the world. And again, if this will happen, is still up in the air. This plan started in the 70s, and how many years later, they still haven't pretty much created the airport or gotten close to even building it. It's a major thing, but it is something on the horizon that could happen. Possibly not in our lifetime, but again, it's just one of those negatives that Pickering kind of has floating over their head, which just has to be the potential of an international airport. Again, it's so far down the line, but it is something that is there. That kind of finishes off this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to like the video itself. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. That way you're notified each and every time I do post new videos. These videos are just to help people that are looking to move to the Durham region. As much as I love doing these videos, I love it better when people reach out and I help them pretty much move here. So if that's what you're looking to do, call, text, email, you can send the carrier pigeon, whatever is easiest for you. And I'm here to make your move and relocation go so much easier. Thanks for watching. I hope these negatives shine some light on things that possibly you didn't know. Thanks again, and until next time.